I just want to say this. I want to thank God for my provision and protection. And I want to thank all of you, the listeners, and I want to thank our AM and FM affiliates. Because I know reality is a crazy thing, and I know it sounds wild to even have me on the air, and I appreciate all of our stations. We're gaining a lot more by the grace of God. I want to thank the real media, not the state-run media, that have helped us over the years. George Norrie really helped us get to a higher level. DrudgeReport.com just obviously resonates with our analysis, and it's just turbocharging. It's not even the word, what we're doing. Probably get me killed if this keeps going, but whatever. At least we're going to beat the globalist because, I mean, can you imagine? It's like Alex Jones and Infowars.com. It's already a force with a giant rocket strapped to its butt. And so I'm like Wile E. Coyote, you know, on top of the big rocket lighting the fuse, or Matt Drudge is back there. So I want to thank you for loving liberty. And listen, when it's all said and done, I know we don't do this because of ego. We do it because we don't want to be slaves. It's our instinct to get really upset about a bunch of lying crooks trying to disarm us. But when it's all said and done, the people that have fought this tyranny, none of us are perfect. But the folks over at WorldNet Daily, people like Drudge and his crew, my crew, man, there's so few. I mean, I've got to be honest, there's so few that really are hardcore, that really know what's going on. He's not perfect in many ways, but he defends the Bill of Rights. Michael Savage. I mean, there's just not many. Glenn Beck, you know, does nasty stuff to me on the side, but he does a lot of good work. So, you know what? As long as he doesn't say Ron Paul supporters should be arrested again, like he said 4 years ago, I want to bury the hatchet with Glenn Beck. It's just, I say that a lot, and then he comes out and says I'm a fascist. But you know what? Fascists wear fancy suits. They don't wear camo. The devil comes as an angel of light. The devil comes acting all fair and friendly and beautiful. But can you smell the stench of death? I mean, listen, this is so real, folks. We've got to circle the wagons if you want any future.
Hey, hello, sick, twisted freak. Welcome to the program. Yesterday, Piers Morgan had a show, apparently. I don't know if he does it.
He still does a show?
I don't know. I don't know if he does it regularly or what channel it is even on. But apparently he does a show. And this is the guy who...
That's adorable.
Yeah, this is the guy who currently... Didn't they just ask in Jay Carney, in one of Jay Carney's press conferences, about the new thing, you know, the president has this stupid website where you can say, hey, I think we should... You know, he's English, and so he's a proponent of gun control and everything else, whatever.
Works so well there.
Your cute little English, you know, attitude, great, Piers.
America.
And so last night, he has on a guy that we don't talk about very often because he's so insignificant and we don't really care. But he's
also psycho.
Yeah, he's.
Can we just say what he is?
Psycho.
Well, he can see a lot of things that other people can't see.
Like a conspiracy around every corner and in everyone's eyes. and if you don't agree with him, you don't just disagree. You're in on it. You're in on it
always.
To him and his minions.
I am, and
it's crazy.
And I said this in the pre-show, and Pat said, "Oh, really? You think this is what he?" I don't know because I don't pay attention.
Keep in mind, if you think this guy's conservative, this is the guy. This is the architect of the 9/11 conspiracy. This is the guy who has pushed it and kept it going and talked about it every day for 12 years now.
Yeah, and it's amazing because he runs InfoWars, and really smart people have come up to me and said, you know, I just saw this on something from InfoWars. Do you know anything about it? And I'm like,
yes,
yeah, stay away from it.
Immediately discount
Somebody
it.
came up to me just 2 days ago and said, we just bought like 1.5 billion rounds of Homeland Security, and I said, I don't know, might be. Well, I got it from InfoWars, and I'm like, okay, well,
no.
Then I can tell you right now, it's most likely not true. And the problem is that might be true, but you have to be careful of who you get your news from. We may have purchased 1.5 billion rounds of ammunition as Homeland Security. We might have done that. But you have to be careful on who you get stuff from because their agenda
you can't trust
makes
a
difference.
Word the guy says.
Yeah, the word. This is the Van Jones of Well, I don't even want to say the right because
No,
he's not on the right.
He's not.
He's just a.
He's so far right, he's left.
He's just
it's creepy. I don't know what.
He is a really spooky guy. And you just have to be careful of it. And as long as you know who he is, it's fine.
And he's the guy who saw Charlie Sheen's hernia.
Well, you know what? I've seen your hernia.
That's right.
Said that directly to Charlie Sheen.
I forgot about that.
Yes. It's Alex Jones.
He's a good friend of Charlie Sheen.
Oh, yeah.
So he's that conservative.
They worked out together. I think that's how he
well, you know what? I've seen your hernia.
saw his hernia.
Okay. Mm-hmm. All right.
I think. Remember, Charlie? Remember, man, when we worked out together and you were all sweaty and I stuck my tongue on your hernia? Remember that? Just to see if that would have healing power. Remember? When we were sitting around discussing how George Bush planted all those bombs, brought down the World Trade Center tower, and I got so turned on that I put my tongue on your hernia. Remember that? Remember, Charlie?
You know what? I've seen your hernia.
All right.
Now, did he discuss this on Piers Morgan last night?
He's not a conservative. I don't know what he is, except a conspiracy theorist. Everything that anyone would ever say about me on conspiracy theory, it's Alex Jones. And when they try to make me look like a conspiracy theorist, they always use his arguments and assign them to me. Mm-hmm. I'm not the FEMA camp guy. No. I'm not the birther guy. I'm not the World Trade Center guy. That's not me. That's him. And they use his arguments and assign them to me.
Which you've never espoused.
I've never espoused.
Never.
I don't believe in them. In fact, I wholly reject them.
Yeah. In fact, you're the one who, if I'm not mistaken, debunked the FEMA camp theory.
So this guy's a real deal.
Wow. This is what they want conservatives
exactly
to
what they
look
want.
like. This
and
is how they want every Tea Partier to seem like that guy, the screaming moron, the fat moron that you've seen screaming at the street corner. They want everyone who thinks taxes should be slightly lower to look like that guy.
They want everybody. They want everybody who believes in the right to bear arms to look like that guy. Yeah. They tried to do it with Ted Nugent, but Ted Nugent is way too smart.
Yeah, way too smart.
He's way too smart, and he's charming. And so while he gets upset, and Ted and I talked about this. There was a time last year that Ted was being pushed up against the wall. They were threatening him with, you don't know what they were threatening Ted Nugent. I happen to know the inside story. That sounds like the ravings of a fascist. That's what that sounds like. And quite honestly, I believe that's what that guy is. But I don't know. I don't know. I just know you cannot respect the founders and build a mountain of deceit that you stand on to declare the Constitution to be supreme and be a decent human being. You cannot say, I'm for the Constitution, and declare it standing on a mountain of deceit.